next members of the International Space Station crew include an astronaut who visited there once on a shuttle mission, a cosmonaut with one long-duration flight to his credit, and a first-time space flyer who will be the first Russian woman to ever visit this outpost. U.S. Navy Captain Barry Wilmore grew up in Mount Juliet, Tennessee, a suburb of Nashville. It's a place and time he remembers for great friends and a great school program that nurtured his natural impulses.
My parents, my mom specifically, told me that my first word was not mama or daddy, it was why. I've always been inquisitive and what's out there and how's that work, and those type of thoughts have always been within me.
After high school in Mount Juliet, Wilmore walked on to the football team at Tennessee Technological University, despite being what he describes as slow, small, and weak. But his urge to know why kicked in, and he earned a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering. Then, what he calls a patriotic tug pulled him to the Navy. After finishing flight school and picking up the call sign Butch, Wilmore made 2 deployments during Operation Desert Storm, then went to the Navy Test Pilot School, and later earned 2 master's degrees, one in aviation systems from the University of Tennessee and the other in electrical engineering from TTU, before making 2 more overseas deployments. Then he taught at the Navy's and the Air Force's test pilot schools before being selected as an astronaut in 2000. Wilmore made his first spaceflight as the pilot on a space shuttle mission that delivered express logistics carriers and other parts to the International Space Station in late 2009. This mission gives him the chance to push the boundaries of human knowledge.
We do science and various things, hopefully for the betterment of mankind. That's why the station exists, so we can turn around what we learn there and use it here on Earth. That's our purpose. And to go and have the opportunity to do that, like I said, is very, very humbling.
Alexander Samokutyaev was born and raised in Penza, southeast of Moscow. As a boy, he loved science and ice hockey, but he had no real doubt about what he would do with his life.
A lot of children, when you ask them who they want to be, sometimes it's hard for them to answer. As long as I remember myself, it was never a difficult question for me. Who do you want to be? I always knew I was going to be a pilot. Maybe a little bit later, I realized I wanted to be a military pilot.
Samokutyaev made his first flight as a pilot at age 16. After high school, he went to the Chernigov Air Force Pilot School in Ukraine, graduating in 1992 and starting his career in the Russian Air Force. He graduated from the Gagarin Air Force Academy in 2000 and was assigned to the Gagarin Cosmonaut Training Center as a division chief before being selected to start cosmonaut training himself in 2003. He completed 1 spacewalk on his first flight, a 164-day mission to the International Space Station as flight engineer on expeditions 27 and 28. Since then, he retired from the Russian Air Force as a colonel and has been studying finance and economics at the Russian Government Service Academy. But he's eager to continue the exploration of space.
And with the prospect of flying to distant planets, maybe out into the solar system, right now we're laying the foundation, the stepping stone that we can do and can implement as part of the ISS project.
Elena Serova, the 4th Russian woman to go to space and the first since 1997, was born in the far east of Russia in a town called Vozdvizhenka, where her father was stationed with the Soviet military. There, she learned to love the star-filled sky and developed an appreciation for flight on trips with her father to the airfield. As a young student, she was influenced by the writings of Konstantin Tsiolkovsky, the Russian father of rocketry, and by the leading personalities of the early Soviet space program.
When I was in school, my first teacher told us about different achievements in cosmonautics, and I was very much impressed by those first flights from Svetlana Savitskaya in particular, who was the first woman performing a spacewalk. She was an amazing individual.
Serova spent part of her teens in Germany when her father was transferred there, but she returned to Moscow when it was time for college. She pursued her interest in space and engineering at the Moscow Aviation Institute, graduating from its aerospace department, and then going to work as a test engineer at the Rocket Space Corporation Energia, while also earning a postgraduate degree in economics from the Moscow Academy of Machinery and Informatics. She was selected for Russia's Cosmonaut Corps in 2006 and is eager for the opportunity to go to space and improve life on Earth.
We don't do it for ourselves, we do it for others, for future generations, so that people on Earth live better. They have better opportunities, they have better conditions of life on Earth. So that's what we do when we take the risk.